have to fall in love with this person in the different versions that they become. I am your biggest cheerleader. If you're not, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Hiding in a fucking bush?
That's what I had to explain to everyone. So it's 2003.
2024, 2000.
Jesus. I come across this shit all the time. When is enough? Like, when is it greed? If someone were to turn to you and go, the lifestyle you live right now is rich, and it's more than enough.
It's more than enough for you.
Ooh. Welcome to this edition of the Balanced CEO podcast. Today, I'm bringing you a very special guest, someone that has been highly requested. It has taken me months and lots of money to get her here. My wife, Mrs. Balanced CEO, Alexis Williams. I'm excited, mainly to get the record straight on how amazing I am, but also to talk about you a little bit too, because I guess you're the guest, so we should focus on you, but let's also talk about me.
Yeah, I mean, the talent's here. It's taken a lot.
Yeah.
Time is money, and you ain't got enough of it, my guy.
Yeah, well, somehow you're still here, so apparently I do. I have enough money.
We got the job done. Your people talk to my people.
Yeah, all of those McDonald's Monopoly stickers finally paid off.
Finally got Park Place.
Yeah, I saved up enough, and I got this.
Okay, you're welcome.
So there's gonna be a lot of joking in this, but we're gonna also talk about some cool stuff, serious stuff, parenting. We both own our own business.
Fact.
You own multiple locations of a scrap metal company, Universal Service Recycling. I own 2 gyms, a media company, and I do real estate on the side. So real estate investing. So we're constantly going.
True.
The last season we were in has been pretty hectic. You've lost 50 pounds?
Yeah. A little over.
I have lost maybe 30. I've been training for the Everest event, which is less than 2 weeks away now, 12 days to be exact. So I've been training hours a day. And then there's that small thing we call a child that
Small body,
still
big
requires a lot of our attention. So I know one thing people would want to know is as a mother, how do you balance, or at least find the time to balance losing weight, being a person, ignoring a small child yelling mom.
That's literally happening right now in live time.
So welcome to the Balanced CEO, where we bring our child to work and try to record podcasts while he's here. So let's talk about that. Like, school-wise, you drop him off.
Yeah.
You then go to work.
Yep.
I'm most of the time handling picking him up.
Yeah.
He goes to aftercare. Not because we need him to, but because he likes it. So
yeah, he loves going to aftercare.
When do you find time to lose weight, eat, sleep, and do everything else? Because I know a lot of times people don't even see you bring work home with you, and then you work every other Saturday. So tell me a little bit about how that schedule works, how you prioritize all the things.
It's difficult. It's tiring. I'm tired most days, but life goes on. Let's see. I mean, typical day, we're up at between 5:30, 6 o'clock every day, getting everybody ready to go and out the door by 7:45, the latest. And then 20-minute drive to school. Then it's another 20-minute drive to work. But most importantly is dropping off. That is a hard, limit that I will not pass. I love dropping them off at school. And then it's off to work and tackling all the fun things at work. And then, you handle pickup, and then half the time, depending on the season of work, it'll depend on how much I bring home, if need be, and you fill in where you can and pick up what you can. And sauna is kind of I sauna almost every single night. So that's kind of a non-negotiable. And I don't know how I get it all done, but I somehow do. And I don't know. It takes a lot of prioritizing.
I feel like that's life in general. Like, a lot of things we do, people are like, how do you do it? There's not some manual
on
how to do all this. It's you just kind of figure it out. And then you get in a groove of like, it just becomes normal. And people are like, oh, that's so harebrained. But it's like, yeah, but if I switched lives with you, not you, but like people that we're talking to, I'd probably lose my mind trying to live in their daily life because it's so different than our routine.
Yeah. If it wasn't chaotic, I don't know what I would do, truthfully.
And to be fair, our life is not that chaotic. It's more, we have the flexibility to pivot. To others, it would look like chaos is actually just us being flexible enough to pivot rather than saying no all the time. I think there's a lot of things we do for Landon or for ourselves that if we didn't have the flexibility, if we hadn't built this level of harmony between work, personal life, and family, that we wouldn't be able to say yes to a lot of things we do that feels chaotic in the moment, but in reality, what we're doing is creating memories.
I mean, it's not, I agree with you. It's not chaos. What it is we have built jobs in entrepreneur businesses or helped build businesses, as I didn't start mine like initially. Came into that later.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But we've built it so we can be at every school function, drop off, pick up. Like that was always a really big priority for both you and I to make sure we don't miss all the moments. Because what's the whole point of doing this if you're going to miss your kids' stuff?
I mean, to me, that's the point, right? And I think Dan Martell, he one time I talked to him after one of the summits when he spoke, and I had about 48 seconds with him. And the only question I had for him is, you're running hundreds of millions of dollars worth of companies. You're doing all these things, social media. How do you balance that with being a parent? Because I know being a parent's important to you. At least that's what he was saying on social media. And I kind of wanted to know how that works. And he said, I don't balance anything. There's no such thing as balance. It's just priorities. And that was like a huge click for me. And he followed that up with, I have a house manager.
Yeah, that's
2022. We kind of started working towards that path. I already had an assistant.
Hard path, but
I already had an assistant. Or it was 2023. I already had an assistant. I was working towards the path of a house manager because of his book. But ultimately, he's like, my house manager comes at 6 a.m. She gets them ready for school, gets them to school so that I can pick them up. And I was like, okay, so you're sacrificing one to get the other. And he said, my kids prefer me picking them up from school than taking them. So I prioritize working from like 4 or 5 a.m. until 1 p.m., 2 p.m. So when it's time to pick them up from school, that's a non-negotiable. My work turns off and I'm dad. And I think that was before Landon was even in like school. He was in that preschool. But I think that's when we kind of had that conversation of like, how does that look for us? Because obviously a house manager isn't like going to appear right now with our situation. And that's when we realized like it served you best to drop him off because you could drop him off, go straight to school or go straight to work.
Which happened to be on the way.
Right. Which it just happened to work out really well. Rather than me driving him all the way there, then driving all the way back, then doing everything I needed to do, then going, so it's
and that's exhausting when I've had to do that.
Right. So for me, it made more sense to pick him up at the end of the day and like hang out with him. Cause like kindergarten, he didn't want to go to aftercare. No. He was not an aftercare kid in kindergarten. So I was picking him up 1, 2, whatever. It was like, that was a hard cutoff. All right, guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, don't care what we have left to do. It can wait till tomorrow. It's dad time. First grade, he all of a sudden became Mr. Aftercare and like hang out and soccer and that and the food and all like making food and like they
have a great aftercare.
Yeah, and a PE program and it's like Delta Charter. Shout out to Delta Charter. Their aftercare program is amazing. And then it became, Dad, I need you to pick me up as close to 5 p.m. as possible because I just want to like milk every second of aftercare possible. Which sucks because it's like you lose those afternoons picking him up and hanging out. But again, he gets to be a kid. So, if we didn't have aftercare, it would still be like a 2:30, 2:45 pickup time.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I'm dad mode from 2:45 on, unless there's something really pressing where on the rare occasion he's got to come to work with me.
which is good because half the time when I have to pick him up, we are going back to work because my day hasn't wrapped up because
Right.
it's a fluke of a time.
And that's also because I'm unavailable. It's one of those rare days where it's like, I literally cannot take him with me
Yeah.
or I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't have someone else that can pick him up. So let's like segue into that. Like I travel a lot. People always ask, like, how do you handle that? Like, this is your opportunity to be as honest as possible. Full transparency. How does the travel thing work in our household?
It was really hard initially. Like it was not an easy thing for you to be gone all the time because I'm used to not being the solo person to do all of it. And because it's tiring. That's
It's
just
exhausting.
It's exhausting. So I had to really work on myself and shout out to, Adam for my mindset coach.
Our
Working through me.
mindset coach.
Okay, fine. Ours. But I had to really work through not getting jealous that you got time off and alone and got to go out with people and like have these super fun adventures and have like build all these amazing relationships that you have. Because I just didn't get the opportunity to, or to even just go with you. So after working through all that, I mean, now it's pretty clockwork. Like me and Landon have a pretty good routine when you're gone now that we've built of, a lot of prepping. Let me go back. It's a lot of prepping. I prep the night before on pretty much everything that I normally don't do as I do in the morning. So super regimented on prepping the night before as much as I humanly can, the clothes, the food, like as much as I can. So the mornings are really smooth. And then thank God for like having a tribe of people that can pick him up at the end, or my work's flexible enough that like they all know like Chris is gone. I'm out by 4 and I don't care what's happening.
Yep.
The place could be burning down and I'm going to call the fire department for you. But unfortunately, I've got to go pick up that kid. And that's number one.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me when you've got to cover for people in the office and you got to be in at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't care what my schedule normally looks like in the morning. It's dad time. Get ready for school, get him off to school, get him dropped off, drive back. Then my day starts. Doesn't matter what the routine is. And then there's those days where you're doing that and then you're working till 5, 6, 7 p.m. because whatever the hell you have going on paperwork wise. And you're on all day.
Yeah, it's tiring, but the good part is when I am covering for my staff, it's short-lived. So I know hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel at the end of the week. Like so-and-so's back come Monday. Like it's fine. We can grind this out 12 hours a day for, 3-4 days, whatever. It's fine.
And for the record,
conditioning.
Yeah.
We used to do that all the time in our 20s.
Yeah.
Like we
20s and
6
30s
days a week.
I just pulled a fucking 18-hour day last week, right? Wasn't it last week? I pulled like an 18-hour Monday when I had to coach.
Oh yeah.
Coach 5 and 6, 8:30, 9:30. Then I did media. Then I had something else. Then I had intros. And then it was like, I literally didn't pull in the driveway to be done with the day until like 7 p.m. And I got to the gym at 4.
Yeah.
I left the driveway at 4:25 a.m.
Yeah, but I've been conditioned for that though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been working since 12, 13 and grinded in my 20s of getting up early, staying late, working 6 days a week. Right.
Now, but my point wasn't that like a comparison. What my point was is I did that in my 20s. I did that in my 30s, building these companies. Every day, days on end. It would be 3-4 days in a row. We wouldn't even see each other because I was just here coaching, leading, doing other things, coaching some more. Like that was the extent of my life.
But I have to say though, it balanced out because I knew what it takes.
Yeah.
Like you have to have somebody in a relationship that understands what it takes for that grind.
Right. But thanks to my staff, and this is the point I'm getting to, is thanks to my staff, thanks to all the things to, my mentoring, my various mentors, Two Brain, JP, Sue at WTF. Like I'm at a point now where I don't have to work like that anymore, unless it's like a very rare situation where I just have, again, I'm building a new company. I've got other responsibilities in my current companies. It was just one of those really long days. And I got to the end of it. And the next day I just felt hungover. And I just remember, I just look back and I don't know how I was stringing, 3 or 4 days like that in a row and not having a mental breakdown. Right.
It was a lot easier before we had kids.
Well, it was, of course. But like, even then it's like, I look back and I reminded myself, I also wasn't training 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't squeezing in a 3-hour training session into those days too. So, but I just look back and I realized, man, I put the work in. So I have the flexibility and I don't ever want to go back to that lifestyle. And, I think that's kind of part of the harmony is finding that tone, between all three things. Like, yes, I want to work. I don't really ever have an interest in not working, but I'm done working 12, 16, 18-hour days.
No. Again, we grinded in our 20s and 30s to be able to have the luxury of a better flexible schedule.
So let's talk about what you do at work, because I know that's kind of a mystery to a lot of people. You are the executive of the custodial arts. Is that correct?
I'm executive of a lot of things, apparently.
Yeah. So you lead the janitorial team.
Sometimes I am the cleanup crew. It feels like all the time.
No, you are 100% the cleanup crew, and I'm not talking about bathrooms.
No, you're right. Nobody really kind of knows what I do.
You clean up everybody's mess.
Yeah. No, my official title is Chief Financial Officer at Universal Service Recycling.
I was close.
We have 5 locations that we run now. Started with our Stockton location, our headquarters. Now we've got Modesto, Sacramento, Merced, and Carson City, Nevada, that I've helped facilitate running all of their offices. And with my uncles, my mom was part of that team with her brothers and started that with my grandfather. My dad was part of it too, and then took over when she passed full time. I mean, I've been in it since they opened, since 1996. So that was our babysitting back then, was you went to work.
What was your job in 1996 for those that maybe wonder?
I cashiered, making $2 an hour, by the way. Cashiered, and I was Excel back then. So every day, or when I was there, I would get all the tickets because we hand wrote everything back then, and did math calculations on all the conversions. And I literally would have to list out the weights and the amounts per commodity so we could have tonnages and weights of what we bought, of all the kinds of materials. So it was manual Excel back then. Really.
Wow. So that went from cans and bottles, cashiering to, when I met you, you were still working there. You were working like 30, 32 hours a week still, and going to school full time.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause we met when I was in college. So I was.
Right. You were at, whatever the hell.
DVC.
Yeah. Delta Valley,
Diablo Valley College.
Okay. You're at some no-name junior college.
Hey, calm it down.
Okay. Not at the level of the University of Phoenix. So we'll just leave it at that.
Wait, you went to Turlock for a hot minute and got the swift kick out the fucking door. So let's calm down on the DVC shit talking over here.
I don't.
Exactly.
That's stricken from the record. There's no proof I was ever at Cal State Stanislaus.
So yeah, no, when I wasn't working, I was at school. I was pulling a full time at DVC, got my AA out of there, transferring to CSU Hayward, well now CSU East Bay. And from going from cashiering all the time, I transitioned to in the office of doing all of our containers, invoicing all loads that went out to the customers overseas and domestically, and coordinated transportation for all of it.
Yeah, so you handled logistics essentially for the entire company.
Not for the entire company, only for outgoing containers. I got to know the port system on export really well.
Got it. You didn't do the roll-offs yet.
No, my mom was still doing roll-offs and stuff because you had to be there boots on the ground day in, day out to dispatch everybody.
Got it.
but I would come in, do all of your container paperwork, um, and invoice all that stuff, make sure call the clients and coordinate bookings and then coordinate the transportation side and yeah, learning the port system. And I mean, you called me any time of day, I was answering. I mean, I didn't care what I was doing.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So you move in from export to, well, let's see. Let's try to figure out the timeline here. That we got married in 2008. So that was what, 2006, 2005. You were doing that 2005, 2006, 2000. But 2007, I feel like you were a little bit.
2003, 2004.
And then 2005 to 2007, I feel like you were deeper into the company at that point. It was more of a full-time role plus school because by 2008, I had joined.
Yeah. And well, I just graduated in 2008.
Yeah.
And transitioned to more of kind of everything in the office and overseeing all of it.
Yeah, because I remember by 2007, I got laid off from Elon for the last time, and I said, I'm done bouncing around the real estate industry. I think your Uncle William came to me and was like, hey, listen, do you want to give this thing a crack?
Yeah, either him or my grandfather, I'm sure.
It was your uncle at our engagement party.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And he's like, listen, you're going to sit
remember
with the
most of that
cashier.
night.
Like we thought it would be temporary. Like we both
Yeah, no,
thought
that's
it was
true.
very
That's
much going to
true.
be a temporary come in, do cashier,
Yeah.
move on. And I kind of got a vibe for it, right? I kind of started understanding things. They're like, hey, do you want to learn more? I'm like, yeah, I mean, why not? So threw me out to the scale and then started learning buying, started learning selling, started learning how to deal with customers, and then, moved into buying.
Yeah.
And during that time, you were also your mom got sick. So like you were moving into a deeper role with the whole operation at that point.
Yeah.
When your mom, like we got married, your mom passed like very shortly after.
6 weeks.
Yeah. It was like, she went in the hospital like the day after.
Literally the day after.
I still feel like she just held on to see you get married, which is wild. But when people want something bad enough, like you can just kind of ignore everything. That's you were going to get a different job.
Yes. Had a job offered.
I remember going with you to do your
the
testing. We stayed overnight in San Jose and you tested for a specific career.
Yep.
Donuts not included. What was that job again?
I know. Well, I got a degree in it. I got a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, minor in business, and then went and tested for the Department of Insurance and investigating for the Department of Insurance and got a job offer from it.
That's right. You got a job offer to be an insurance fraud investigator.
Yep.
Because I remember that was the plan. Like that was like one of those points, like just a straight up fork in the road where had your mom been okay, we would have probably been living in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
We were getting ready to prep.
Yep.
I was going to leave the yard, find a job out in Santa Cruz. We were going to go move to the Santa Cruz area.
Yeah. Because that was the jurisdiction.
Right. I think we were going to plan on living at the ranch because I was living in the other house at the ranch. We're going to move into the ranch for a year, save our money, buy a condo in Santa Cruz, and then I would have switched to a new company. I would have moved on. That doesn't happen. Instead, you kind of take over the full responsibilities of the yard from your mom over time.
Yeah, my grandfather came to me. Because I was living with them, so they got the mail, and he said, "I'll match their salary. Come work with me." And there I went.
Do you regret that decision?
No.
Not even a little?
No, because I just don't know how that job would have affected me. I don't know if you and I would have survived if that job would have jaded me.
So that's my question with that job. Like, would it really jaded you? It's not like you're the one responding to an emergency. You're investigating people, whether or not their insurance claim was real.
True. But I don't think I would have stopped with that because I didn't necessarily want to specifically do investigating of like fraud. I wanted to go into the police force. I wanted to.
Oh, you want to become?
I wanted to be a cop.
A police.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that could have caused some friction. again, I have no problems with cops, but like there is a certain jaded mentality that I have noticed with anyone that has gone into the police force.
Of course.
The before and after is just, it's a,
how can it not? They're
Yeah.
friggin' seeing everybody on their worst days. I mean,
yeah,
how can it not happen?
That could have been, I mean, I don't know if it would have jaded you any more than you've been jaded by the loss of your mom.
All the
what
things.
happened with your dad after that, losing your grandfather, then losing your dad, like losing your uncles. Like, I'm not sure life was going to create less of a jaded version of you.
True.
I think it would have just been a more bitter version.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't regret it. No, because I mean, I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
I like working with my family.
I had to ask the follow up just because, people are going to be like, oh yeah, it's just saying that because, you work with your family. But I think realistically, you don't regret it. I don't regret it. I think we've ended up right where we need to be. Do I regret having a chance to be a beach bum for a few years? Of course. I mean, like it's literally right here in my soul where I would love to be, is like waking up to hearing the ocean every day. Like
I'll buy you a sound machine.
It's just not the same.
I'll have a little mister that's
I don't want a VR ocean experience. I want the real fucking thing. So we had Landon in 2018.
Yes.
He's going to be 7 in 1 week.
Jesus, already.
What do you see as like some future goals for yourself? Like you're losing weight, you're doing things. Do you feel like you're at that harmonization you want to be between life and family and fitness?
No, that's an easy no. No, fitness has been a hard thing to reintegrate consistently into my routine. It's just been, that is the one thing that I will personally backburn in an instant. So no, it's a very much a thing I have to work on constantly to make sure it's somewhat getting done, because I will self-sacrifice to make sure you guys are prioritized and works up there. And so no, the self-care is definitely not harmonized quite yet.
But I want to talk about that because you use that a lot.
What?
The mom guilt, I have to prioritize everyone else. But in reality, isn't that kind of a cop-out?
That's a good question.
Because in reality, you not taking care of yourself means you're not at 100% to take care of anyone else. So by default, you are hurting your ability to take care of others because you are not at full capacity yourself.
You know what it is? I wouldn't necessarily say it's a cop-out. It's an excuse, probably.
Yeah, cop-out excuse. Like,
but
are you using it? Is it a crutch?
What? No, it's
well, I have to take care of everyone else. I don't have time for myself. Now, I'm not saying it directly at you as like an accusatory thing. I'm saying it so that other people that are watching this understand they're not alone in dealing with this. But like, as a mom, do you feel like that's a bit of an excuse to avoid the hard work that comes with the fitness, like the soreness, the pain? Like, it's very easy to just be like, oh, well, Landon needs me. I can just tomorrow. But in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, I'd like to avoid feeling like waking up and not being able to walk tomorrow.
So I'm going to bring at it from this angle that for me personally, fitness has always been a hard thing to have consistency in my life. It has never been an easy thing that like, I love to go do. Let me get this back in. If that was the case, I wouldn't still like 6 years later have lost finally my baby weight. Like right. I would have bounced back immediately like most people who are very consistent with their fitness do. And God love them. But
she hates you, by the way, all of you.
That's just not true.
She says it every day. She sees people and she's like, fuck those fit people. Fucking assholes.
Hey, they're doing their thing. And I wish I had the dedication.
You're not even denying
I wish I had the fucking dedication. I don't know how the fuck sometimes they see. That's okay. They don't understand how the hell I keep my schedule.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck they fit that into theirs. Honest to God. Because
y'all need to swap notes.
Probably. Because I'll tell you how to grind the shit out of working.
But that's what we always talk about this. Like my origin story for the person I am today started in 2022. Really, it started in 2020 at Ava's Kitchen. And if you really go all the way back, it's 2019 when I went to the NC Fit Summit, met Adam. Then we went to Ava's Kitchen in 2020, left that room realizing we were probably the only ones really significantly overweight out of all the successful people within our age range.
Yeah.
Called Adam the next day, was like, hey, I want to start with you. And then it was 2 years of like, you know, I mean, just up and down, up and down, up and down, success and failure. But I walked into a room full of gym owners who were just like me. Successful companies, right? Making good money. The only difference was they had figured out that prioritizing themselves was more important than any of the other bullshit. It was more important than the company. It was more important than being a parent. It was more important than any of it. Because if they weren't at their best, they weren't going to be a great parent. They weren't going to be a super productive person in their companies. And that was the trigger, right? I swapped notes with people.
Yeah.
Who wanted to know how I was managing wealth, and I wanted to know how the fuck they were managing their fitness. And all I realized was there was no compromise when it came to their fitness.
Yeah, it's definitely a non-negotiable. I mean, for me personally, to go back to your question for it, but for me personally, like, give me any excuse and I will more than likely take it not to have to work out.
Right.
I'm very... And I've learned this about myself. I am very much like, give me an inch, I will take that bitch a mile.
Right.
Like, I mean, so it's I have to fight that a lot on myself because I just don't want to fucking do it. Like, I just don't. I rather mom it. I rather work. I rather, for some reason, and I haven't figured it out yet, and we're working on it on the daily. I work on it weekly with Adam of like, what is it that's going to trigger that? Like, you found that getting into those rooms, and I'm still out here lost in the fucking wilderness.
I think the only thing is I dialed in. I found the fitness type that I like. I like endurance and I like just bodybuilding. Like, I like the two. I have not done any weightlifting in I don't know how long because of the
Probably
Everest
a year.
training. So I'm not looking forward to the way that's going to feel.
I mean, you did a little bit after GBS, but
Yeah,
that was just a rebuild.
That's going to fucking hurt. And so I struggle with the same thing. I struggle with like, do I want to go back to it? Because I know the pain it is going to inflict
my
on my
ass wants
body.
to go back to nothing. Let's be honest here.
Right. But I think that's the thing, right? Like, it's like you have to realize like the three things you have to do every day. You have to be a great parent. You have to be a great spouse. And you have to get your fitness in. Everything else is secondary to that.
True.
Our companies, all of that is secondary to being a great parent, being a great spouse.
But I will have to say,
and being healthy.
It's hard to rewire. Like, it's hard to rewire that because I have put work above anything, really.
You've had work up here and everything else down here.
For years.
I mean, it was way worse back in the day. I mean, there was a handful of years there where we were getting into it all the time because you were literally damn near making us miss flights over work.
Yeah. No matter where I went, work went with me.
But that wasn't the thing. You were literally refusing to leave.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I was like,
and
my
like,
parents.
we were missing flight. We were damn near missing flights.
It became the running joke that I was becoming my mother because that is shit my mom would do with my dad. And you're right. Like, even now, when I tell, like, when I know I have to be out by like 2:00, I will tell people I'm leaving at 1:30, knowing I have to leave at 2. But I know you people are magically going to have a goddamn problem that you need me to solve.
That you've been waiting on all day.
Like, you need me to solve in this last moment before you think you're never going to see me again.
And that's the beauty of, I think, my team. And I love my team for this. They will come to me immediately if there's a problem. They don't wait until I'm walking out the door.
Well, I think it's a lot of people think that like they forget about it or like, oh, wait before you go.
Yeah.
So, but no, you're right. That was a running like thing for a while and it became like a running joke.
Wasn't a joke to me. I don't know who was laughing. I wasn't.
No, everybody else around it because they seen the same pattern that like my mom used to do with my dad. And it became the thing of like, oh no, you better tell them like 2 hours before the event because you know they're going to be late. And, now I'm like such a stickler for goddamn time.
Yeah. It's important. you and I, we have this relationship. We're balancing 114 companies. I don't even know how many different corporations and LLCs and different things we have going on. The average person would be like, when is enough enough? Is there such a thing for you?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm content right now, but will I pass up an opportunity? No.
What would you say to someone that said that sounds greedy?
I don't see how that's greed in any way, shape, or form.
Explain yourself. No, I'm this is serious because
I'm dead ass. Like,
I
I
dead
don't
ass.
understand.
Like this comes across, like I come across this shit all the time. And like the whole, like, when is enough enough? When is enough? Like, when is it greed? Like if someone were to turn to you and go, the lifestyle you live right now is rich and it's more than enough.
You're right.
And we want more.
It's more than enough for you.
Ooh.
Doesn't mean it's more than enough for me. And again, I'm content. I love the life we live.
Right. I'm not ungrateful for the life I
God,
live.
no.
I'm very grateful for the life I live. I'm very grateful for the opportunities. I'm very grateful for the lifestyle, the travel, the opportunities, the people in my life right now, the where I live. I'm very grateful for all of it.
Absolutely. And
But it's not my dream.
I know how I got in this position.
Right.
This road wouldn't have been this, I don't want to say necessarily easy. It maybe wouldn't have been as successful as quickly if my mom hadn't died. I wouldn't have been in the positions that I'm in after, she passed. But I am in it. We're living it. We're here. Do I think it's greedy? No. But am I content? Sure. But am I going to miss an opportunity? Hell no, I'm not. Because if I missed opportunities, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I love that. I think for me, it's the dream, right? I'm living an amazing life and it could be your dream. It could be your specific dream, but it's not my dream. So if it bothers you that we want to make changes or we want to grow or we want to do things, we want to go and maybe move to a different neighborhood or get Lane into better schools or put him in an area where there's lower crime, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Maybe we want a beach house. It doesn't really fucking matter what it is. Just because I'm living your dream doesn't mean my dream doesn't matter, right? It doesn't mean
that our dream stops.
Right. Like just because my dream is bigger than yours doesn't mean your dream isn't valid.
No. And we are living a lot of people's dreams. And I think it's beautiful. And I'm glad for your stuff. Like, that's fine. But it doesn't get to tell me what I want to do with my life. And you could think I'm absolutely ridiculous for wanting a bigger house or, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want because guess what? It's our life and we only have one.
Yeah. I've learned very quickly in the last few years, like how quickly that can all be taken away. And I'm not going to take any of it for granted.
No.
And I'm also not going to stop giving.
But I'm also not going to go above my budget. If I can't afford it, we're not doing it.
Yeah, we don't live for flash. We live for memories. We live for experiences. We live for opportunity. And that's kind of, I get it. Where you're not even 50 yet.
Not even anywhere near it. Thank God.
I'm barely 40.
+2.
39 for the third year in a row. I don't know why you and Josh don't understand this.
I'm not even close to 40, so.
You were like 46.
You wish I was 46.
According to my Facebook memories, you are.
You don't also know how to math.
Potato. If we're fortunate enough, we have a lot of years left.
Hopefully.
I don't want to waste them. I don't want to sit here holding back or living a lifestyle that makes everybody else feel comfortable around me.
I think it's just we want, I support everybody's stuff.
Right. But we did that for a while. I don't think people realize it.
What?
We lived a subdued lifestyle for a long time, significantly below our income level, significantly below our means because we didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. We kind of wanted to live under the radar wealth-wise.
Yeah, I definitely did never nor still do I like people counting my money.
Right. That's a great point. Like I can't stand when people start trying to count.
Can't no, thank you.
But I think it's like, even with the watches, I I could have bought, like, we could have bought Rolexes a decade ago. And I'm not talking just a Rolex. I'm talking like presidential Rolexes a decade ago. We held off for a long time because of the image that we were afraid it would impose on people around us.
Yeah, friends and family.
Cars, like a lot of things we wanted in our 30s, we didn't do because we were afraid it would impose. Just buying the house we live in now, we second guessed over the image issues.
I mean, we didn't tell anybody we moved. I think we maybe told
Like maybe 5 people.
And they were probably all family. I don't think we told anybody we were moving.
Because we were so afraid of the image issues. And I think
what? It's not the image issue. It's the judgment.
Yeah.
It's the judgment.
Right. And that's what I was trying to get to is like we just get to a point where we realize we're never going to make you feel comfortable in your own skin. Like that's your job. It's your job to feel comfortable and confident with the life you live. And if your life isn't good enough, your lifestyle doesn't live up to your dreams, are you doing enough to make it work? Like, are you sacrificing? Are you putting in the extra time? Or are you going home and kicking your feet up on the couch and going, well, my job sucks. And, you know, it's the job's fault that I don't have what I want. And you're not doing anything to find a new job, open up a business, like take those chances, right? Like that's the difference. Like we jumped off a cliff without a parachute and trusted ourselves to get it done. Multiple times. That's part of it. And so did your mom. That's the reason you have what you have. And your mom and your uncles, like they did the same thing. So there's legacy to this.
Yeah. I mean, people see what we have now and don't realize the sacrifices it took to get there.
Like I tell people all the time, like, yeah, we wouldn't have this. And we'd give it all back for her mom to still be here. Period. Like that's a non-starter. There's no other answer to that question. But like, it happened.
Yeah, it's life.
We then were very strong stewards with our money. Like we did not just squander the money as it came in. We invested in homes. We invested in ourselves. We invested in knowledge. We invested in mentoring. We opened other businesses. Like we have taken those little soldiers and sent them out to recruit other soldiers that brought back more soldiers in the terms of more dollars. And we've done that for 15 years.
Yeah, longer than that.
Yeah, but I mean, realistically, that's when we bought our first house.
How long have we been married?
We've been married 17 years this year.
So 16 years. We lived in Clements for a year.
Yeah, but I mean, we bought January 2010, we bought Pyrenees. That was our first major investment.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, really, my first major investment was you.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand the origin story.
Oh, of us?
Yeah.
How origin do you want to get here?
I mean, you tell it better than I do because I honestly don't remember half of it.
Of you hiding in a fucking bush?
We're just going to jump right in there. Like fucking just, yeah. Not even give me a chance to warm anybody
Go
up.
ahead.
Like,
Go ahead.
Cool. I appreciate you. My image is ruined.
Dip the toe in the water.
The years of building a brand, this auspicious image is just, you just wiped your ass with it with that one statement.
Give me a tissue.
Toilet paper would be preferable. It doesn't tear as well. So it's 2003, 2004. You graduated in 2003.
I graduated in 2024.
So it's 2003.
2024, 2000.
Jesus. It's 2004.
2004, yep.
I had just left a house that was an apartment, basically a drug den. I was just drinking at the time. I was very, very intoxicated. Something told me to stop at another friend's house on that same floor of the apartment complex. Knock on the door randomly, go in, hang out, talking with him and his girlfriend. Knock on the door. He leaves to go see who it is. 5-10 minutes go by. His girlfriend is staring at me like, are you going to go out and figure out what the hell is going on? And I'm like,
where did he disappear to?
I'm like, huh? Okay. Wander out there. And then there's like these women standing there. And they just are staring at me like a bunch of judgy McJudgersons.
We were what, 18?
Yeah, you guys are all about 18, 19-year-old freshmen and at your, low-class junior college. And I was like, oh, that's why he hasn't come back in. And I think the first thing I did, but I noticed you. I do remember that. First thing I did was I noticed you. And then somehow we moved down to the parking lot. I don't remember why. I'm very hazy on all that. I think you guys were getting ready to leave. And like, Brad's like, let's walk them down. I'm like, I'm heading that way anyways. So I'm going home, bro. I'm lit. And we were in the parking lot. And I don't remember why. I think there was a raccoon to my right in that trash can. Yep. So quick backstory. Back then, I had beef with anything, pretty much any wildlife on four legs. I had beef with deer. I had beef with squirrels. I had beef with raccoons. I was drinking all the time. I'm pretty sure this was almost hallucinogenic issues at that point. And I was like backing up into a bush to camouflage myself so I could fight the raccoons and protect my turf. That's where she stepped in. Proceed, please.
Lo and behold, Alexis in her mouth, of course, calls him out and says, "What are you doing? Hiding in a fucking bush?"
That's when I had to explain to everyone my diabolical plan to hide in the bush so the raccoon wouldn't see me coming, even though it was a solid 60 yards away. And then I was going to ambush the raccoon and fight it so it would go away and never come back.
Yeah. But let me back up from my perspective of when we first met. And I know it's cliche for people to hear, and they're like, yeah, that probably never happens. But I will say from the moment I literally laid eyes on you, I knew I would be with you. Funny thing is, backstory, same thing happened with my parents.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I knew from the moment I laid eyes on both of you that I would probably date you. And I think it was more because you called me out, and no one ever was willing to call me out back then for anything.
So if anybody ever thinks that I don't call anybody out, I've been doing it since day one.
Yeah, no, back then, no one called me out for anything. I think people were afraid of me. I think people were afraid of what I would do. I had a very intimidating persona. I had an intimidating past. Everything about me was like, yeah, don't set them off. So like no one had ever called me out, especially a woman, for anything, ever. So for me, I was like, yo, these twins are feisty. I was definitely seeing.
And then what?
It was definitely a little blurry.
A week later, I called you out for while we were getting pizza. And
was it a week? No, it was longer than a week later.
No.
It was longer than a week. I feel like it was a lot longer than a week because I asked about you when Brett was on the phone with you. Didn't told him to tell you hello.
That's true.
In between.
Yeah.
And then that was, again, another random event where I went over to see Brett and I just got my hair cut. I had like a new shirt on because I had a job for the first time in I don't know how long. And you were sitting there and I remember you had, what was those shirts called? It was like a halter top. Was that it?
Halter top.
Yeah. So you had a halter top on. I'll never forget.
I still have that shirt.
You had just gotten your hair done.
Yep.
Professionally straightened. Like I'll never forget that moment. When I walked in, it was like, all right, yep.
There she is.
Feisty and hot. That's my kind of gal. And so I remember I had those free Pizza Hut things from doing door to door, and I'd stacked up all of these ones, and that's how I was living. I needed rides because you couldn't get delivered. Of course, I didn't have a car, didn't have money. I did have money. It was getting spent on drugs and alcohol, like nothing else. So we go to what? Pizza Hut?
Something like that.
Yeah. So you drive me out to Pizza Hut, get the 2 free medium pizzas, come back. We're walking.
Were you dating at that point?
No, we had not officially started dating. I think I asked you that night. And then it took you like 11 days to finally come around.
Oh my God, it took 24 hours, bro.
Took like 11 days to come around to my charm. We're walking back. I tripped on a crack in the sidewalk and almost lost the pizza.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You were so enamored with holding the pizzas that you literally ran up the fucking street pole, and because you weren't paying attention where you were walking.
No, I called the city and complained and had that crack in the sidewalk fixed.
And immediately changed your story to you tripped on the crack. And I'm all, no, you didn't.
No, I called the city. I had that shit fixed immediately.
To this day, we still give each other shit about that day.
To be fair, I only ate every few days at that point. So like I was like eating and walking
Yeah.
because I was starving. Yeah. And then you came around, I don't know, 4 weeks later, calling you every day, asking you to be my girlfriend.
That's
you
not
finally were
true.
like, yes, I will date you.
Not true.
And then that's just as true as the, you know, running up a pole.
This hit the stories we tell ourselves.
Yeah, no kidding. And then from there, what was the next major point? I mean, was it 6 months that I did the dinner at my parents' house where it was like pretending to be a restaurant?
No,
Was that a
our
year?
1 year anniversary.
1 year.
No,
That was cool.
the bigger life one was, I mean, you could probably talk about it more, but I got you out to Pleasanton when you started working for the shoe company and you needed to be closer. And we're like, how are we going to do this?
That's right. Because I was taking a bus to a bus and it was taking over an hour, hour and a half to go from Walnut Creek to Pleasanton every day. That was brutal, especially in the mornings. Like I was getting up at like 5. I was having to get on a bus at like 6:30.
What made you all of a sudden get dedicated to working?
I think you were like, you gave me purpose. Tonight I had no purpose. Like I had no, like, even some of my social media talks about, like, I didn't feel my voice mattered. I didn't feel like I mattered. I didn't feel like anything I did mattered. So it was like, what the fuck does a job going to do for me? Yeah, it's going to be money to do what? Spend more on drugs and alcohol and like get myself put in prison for life? Because more money means I'm just going to buy more drugs. I'm going to just sell it and use it probably till I die. So I don't know. I just never saw a job as a reason. Then I met you and I was like, okay, well, I got a purpose now. Like I want to be able to take her out. I want to be able to do things. I want her to be impressed and attracted to me and like see me as a worthy partner. So I was like, okay, I got this job thing going. So I called the guy that I originally was going to work for in Walnut Creek, Tony. He was now running the Pleasanton one at my old stomping ground, Stone Ridge Mall. And he's like, yeah, give you a job. Awesome. Problem was getting there.
Yep.
And that bus was brutal. Like that bus system was a solid hour and a half, if not 2 hours both ways. So we're like, we got to get closer. So we found a home for rent.
A room for rent.
Yeah, room for rent in like a townhouse.
Yep. Across the street from the mall.
Yeah, I was literally like a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk, depending on how fast I was moving. And God, that was a psychotic situation in itself.
Yeah.
We moved in with the proverbial cat lady.
We did not move with anyone.
Yeah, I moved in with the proverbial cat lady.
I didn't move in with you until we got married.
Yes. Sure you didn't. I
didn't.
I'd have to kick you out of my bed every night. Get out of here. Get
Please. I literally had curfews until we got married.
Yeah, get out of here. Okay. I'm a good Christian boy.
Okay. You know what? You're right. Because you're going to be doing a wedding soon. So, Father Williams over here.
That's me.
Tapping into your old roots.
So that lady had like 14 cats and worked at a psych ward. And I think she
was a nurse.
Like she literally became psychotic like her patients.
Yeah.
Which was a total thing. Cops, like all this shit. I finally had to get out of there after what, like 5-6 months.
It was, I don't remember.
It wasn't that long.
She was interesting.
I ended up moving to San Ramon.
Yep. Into Windermere.
Into Windermere, that's right. Moved into Windermere. It was a brand new complex back then.
No, you moved in with the dude from Elone behind Safeway.
That wasn't Elon. That was Chase.
Chase, yes.
Yeah, I ended up moving in with one of the guys from Chase, and I lived behind Safeway in those old apartment complexes. That was a dope spot. Like, that was a big 2-bedroom.
Yeah, those apartments.
I look back and wondered, how the hell were we only paying like, I think we were paying like $1,000 a month for that too.
20 years ago, Chris.
But still, it was $1,000 a month to live in San Ramon in like a great location.
Yeah.
For a 2-bedroom, a huge 2-bedroom place.
Yeah.
And then
my 20th birthday.
Got out of there, went to Windermere. Got out of there, went to Pleasanton, to the ranch. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up in Clements and then Tracy.
Yep. Here we are.
Was there ever a time where you were like, I don't know if he's the right guy. I don't know if this is the right choice.
I think I tried breaking up with you once.
11 times, but yeah.
No, seriously, only one time. And it was at the apartments that you were living with the dude from Chase. I don't remember.
I don't remember that. I must have blocked it out of my head.
Yeah, it was only one time that I was like, I don't think this is going to work. And you were like, no, I think like, let's work on, I don't even remember what it was, honestly. But like, truthfully, I don't think there's ever been a time where I've really ever thought like, this isn't going to work. It's always like, what do we need to do to figure it out? I mean, that's like our common fucking saying. We'll figure it out.
So for people in a relationship, maybe they're newer or like they're struggling, what would you tell them? Like what do you feel like has been the determining factor that's kept us together for so long? Aside from the fact that like I'm the most attractive man you've ever seen in your life.
I would have to say, and I tell this more to like new parents, but I think it's good in general. You have to fall in love with this person in the different versions that they become. You're not going to be the same person you were at 20. You're not going to be the same person you were before you had a kid. You're not going to be the same person before when you lost a parent or you've lost like a best friend. Like you're just not the same person. And you have to be friends. Like you have to genuinely like being with this person and like hanging out. And if you can't evolve together or kind of fall in love with the aspects of each other, then it's just not going to work. It's just not. You'll just get resentful and bitter, and it takes work. So I don't ever think that there's never been a time where I'm like, F this, I'm out. Like, yeah, is it challenging? Of course. But it's always been we'll figure it out. We became a we very, very, very early on. There really wasn't a individual aspect to our relationship. It was always, what do we need to do to get stuff done?
Lex Robbins over here. That was impactful, man. Like you're right.
It's true.
Like, it's very much like you have to fall in love with all the different varying versions of that person. Like,
Yeah.
You've changed a million times over with all the things you've gone through. Same for me.
Yeah.
And you have to continuously find the attraction again with the new version, good or bad.
Yeah. And how do you work? Like, you just have to learn to work through those versions.
Yep. And the growth, because the growth can get ugly.
The growth, there's a lot of I guess, not necessarily discovery, but a lot of working that you have to do with yourself to make sure you're okay with the direction of where things are going.
Yeah, I think, but I think it's the same thing. It's like, you talk to other people, like when I was growing during the initial part of the travel and all that and growing and putting effort into fitness and all that, I was holding a mirror up to you and showing your own inefficiencies with your fitness and like you growing as a person and finding those coaches and people to help you grow. And I know that bothered you.
Yeah.
And I think that goes both ways, right? Like you might grow as like in your professional career and like your income grows. And I'm like, I will never touch that. And it, again, and it shines inefficiencies on me that I need to get over and like figure out, or I need to improve on to feel that confidence.
Yeah. You have to learn to grow with that person and realize it's not just going to be the same. It's just not. You want the person to evolve.
You can't hold on to the person they were. If you've been with someone for even just 5 years, like they're not the same person they were 5 years ago.
No.
Neither are you.
Nor do you want to be.
And if you are the same person you were 5 years ago, that's a fucking whole different problem in itself. If you're not growing and you're not like, and you don't value improvement and like experience, and you're not out there gaining life experience and doing things to grow as a person, like no shit, that person's going to leave you. Like, and I don't blame them.
I think they just get tired. It gets tiring.
It gets tiring if you're growing and the other person's just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, but you also can't be bitter that the person's taking their own path.
There's a difference between taking a path and being like, nah, I'm not trying.
But like, can't keep like you can't with your whole mirror thing.
Yeah.
I also argue with you a lot of stop telling me that what I'm doing is not good enough on my own journey. Like, I love that you've gotten your mentors. I've loved that you're doing all your things and that your priorities have shifted. And I support that. But then don't shit on my priorities. You might want me to grow and help me, and I acknowledge that. But you can't turn around and then just keep shitting on the person without them being like, finally, fuck you. But you have to be sympathetic to other people's journeys as well.
You're
and their
right. And I think to a
experiences.
certain degree, you can't push people. But I think at the same time, if you've been growing for the last 5 years and the other person is just like literally not,
Dead stopped.
eventually that gap gets to a point where you're like, this isn't even compatible anymore.
No.
Like you're not even trying.
And I agree with that. Like, and I'm not saying that like you have to badger the person to not want to get better, because each person's always going to want to see their partner get better. If you're not, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
But
Also, if you're not rooting for their success, like,
yeah,
I think that's probably my biggest gripe with a lot of relationships. And people are like, yeah, this relationship, like, it just doesn't work. And it's always the person that doesn't want to root for their partner's success telling me that. You're letting your own ego show right now. Your jealousy, your ego is showing with your lack of care and want to support the success of your partner.
yeah. I mean, I get thrill out of watching you do big things, like accomplish big things. Like, I am probably more excited about Everest than you are. Like, I am so excited to go watch you accomplish this.
Yeah. And I think that to a certain degree, that's harder for the person doing it, because it's like, yeah, I'm excited, but I'm also I'm dealing with all the fears and the what ifs and the pain I'm already feeling, the physical pain I'm currently in, and like the injuries and everything else. So yeah, I'm not excited.
But I will say though, I will
ready.
be, I am your biggest cheerleader. Like, you have to be your partner's biggest cheerleader and shit. If you're not, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. I can't imagine how unfulfilling life would be if I didn't have you by my side cheering me on.
And talking some shit.
So much shit. I oftentimes go to bed wondering if she's my wife or my wife and my greatest love, or my greatest adversary and bully.
I'm hilarious and I can't help that.
So,
Don't do stupid shit and I want to call it out.
But, I love it. I don't mind it.
You know what?
We're very good friends. We're best friends before anything else. And
You
I think
have
that
to
helps
learn
with
to
a lot
keep
of it.
laughing.
Yeah.
If they're not making you laugh, there's just no fun.
Sometimes I could do without the fun. It's very hurtful. What's our favorite quote?
Which one?
Facts hurt.
Got that. That's hurt.
When we say something, the other person corrects us and we realize we're wrong. And rather than admitting we're wrong, we just tell the other person facts hurt.
Yeah. Don't be so hurtful.
Yeah. Don't be so hurtful with
in your honesty. God damn it.
Don't be so hurtful with the truth. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's better to just,
keep your truth to yourself. Okay?
Let the incorrect statement lie.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, right? Like, I love being around you all the time. And I think going back to the trips thing, I know some people are going to probably perk their ears up on you wish you could be with me. Like, I'm telling you can't go.
No.
Like, I beg you to go with me on
no.
every single trip. Like, that's the thing. Like, I want you around me all the time.
Absolutely.
We worked together for 5 years and it wasn't like we could have continued doing it forever.
Yeah.
I would have no problem with her coming with me on every trip.
Oh no, and it's not that I don't want to go with you. It's just we have a kiddo that like needs structure.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest thing I've learned being a parent is when they're young, like watching him suffer when we would leave and stuff like that. I just had to put that priority above traveling with you. And it's only a short time, he'll eventually, the older he gets, the more independent he gets.
Yep.
The more he doesn't care if we go out and do stuff. I mean, that's currently not still the case, but he still wants to be around us 24/7.
Which is awesome. And
Which
I
is
don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
Like, I will
Like,
take that as long as I can get
that'll
it.
go.
Yeah. I will take that as long as I can get it.
Absolutely. So I want to go with you on the trips. I just know that like that sacrifice has to be made a time apart because you have to develop the human you've created. And that's important to develop. It's just a good person. And stability is what's key in it.
Right. And like, I look back at that and I realize I spent basically from birth, I spent with au pairs. And then when the au pair thing dried up, it was after school programs, getting picked up in a van and going to an after school program.
Yeah, see, I never had to
And
do
then
any of that
and then
growing
when
up.
that was over, when I aged out of that, it was the YMCA and getting picked up in a van and doing YMCA shit every day after school. And then during the summer. It wasn't that I hated it. And the routine was, I'm sure, good for me.
It kept you entertained and busy.
Right. But it's like, you know, and then military school, right? And then you go into military school. It's like, he wants me around me. I want him around me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to give him that opportunity to build that type of
only have so much
relationship with his
time.
parents.
Before kids don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah. And I often wonder if he's going to be one of those. I know it'll be to a certain degree because it's just natural. Like there's a genetic disposition, get away from your family, go start a new tribe, you know, that whole thing. So you're not inbreeding in your own tribe. Like it's something that's been genetically imprinted into humans since the dawn of time.
Well, you want to grow a successful kid to be independent and want to leave.
But there's that thing in their brain, especially boys that at like 12 or 13 puberty hits. And it's like, dad's the enemy. Like he's the alpha. I need to become the alpha. Like
that'll be a fun time.
They don't know anything. I'm not smart. Like, and I read and I've looked into this a lot. And there's this whole thing where it's like, no, your parents are stupid. And it's not kids being arrogant. It's literally embedded in them to think their parents are stupid and to seek advice elsewhere, because back when tribes were real and there was 150 people in a tribe, guaranteed you were probably related to a lot of people in that tribe to a certain degree. So like evolution put this piece in them of like, no, your tribe is stupid. You need to go find a different tribe that will have the answers for that next part of your life. Right? So now you're going to embed in a new tribe that probably doesn't have anyone related to you inside of that 150 people. So when you have kids, genetic issues aren't going to be as prevalent. So it was like a, you know, evolutionary thing, but it's still in kids today. Like they still like, yeah, you're dumb. Johnny's dad knows more than you.
Yeah.
And I know that's coming.
I mean, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
But then I also see those kids that like hanging out with their parents still, even as teenagers. Maybe not as often, but they still like it. They're not fighting going out and doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
I just want to raise a good kid.
Yeah.
That's it. Just a good human.
I want a kid that when I talk to other parents, they're like, he is so well behaved.
I don't necessarily know if well behaved, but like
not necessarily. I mean, what I mean is like he's good manners. He's a nice kid. We like having him around.
He just genuinely cares about other people.
Yeah, that's it. I want parents.
I'd rather have him be a good friend than know fucking 20 times 52. Like I don't care.
Do you know 20 times 52?
No, I don't know. Out of 0 to fucking 100 and something.
It's 1,040.
There you go. See, that's why I keep you around.
But like, I want parents to come to me and go, yeah, we'll take him anytime. Cause he's
That's accurate.
He's such a great friend.
Is it really?
20 times 50 is 1,000. And then you times 2 times.
And this is what I do, you guys.
I
then 20, go, I don't think you're right.
And then you go 20 times 2 is 40. So 1,000 plus 40.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Common Core right there.
I literally do Common Core in my head.
I definitely
So
don't.
I'm like, when people are like, Common Core is so terrible, I'm like, makes sense to me.
Yeah, no thanks.
Been doing it in my head this way since I was a kid.
Oh, you'll be heading up all the math questions.
Yeah, like I want parents to like, I want him to be the type of kid where parents are like, we'll take him anytime because he's such a great friend to our son. He's respectful, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a good person to be around. I don't want him to be the kid. Like I was looked at to a certain degree of like, we don't want him anywhere near our kid because he's a fucking animal. Right.
Parents didn't like me because I swore too much.
Like growing up with Justin and Dustin, it was like both their parents liked me. But when Justin and I were together, other parents did not like us.
Well,
right? Dustin and I hanging out together. Most parents liked us, but you know, I had like going outside of those two, like there was a lot of parents that were like, yeah.
yeah. So, parents are fine with me if they just like growing up, they'd say I'd swear too much or that was really it.
That timeline of my life is an entire podcast in its own right.
So then let me ask you a question. How do you balance the parenting, the travel, the businesses?
That's a great fucking question. When it comes to the travel, that's the easiest one. So I'll answer that one first. When it comes to travel, it used to be like, oh, I'm going to go early. I'm going to stay late because, tired. Now it's like, I try to get home as fast as possible. I go early because of the podcast. I need a day to set up. I need time to like get everything set up and situated.
There's obviously logistic stuff.
Logistically to make sure that I can record an interview. And like usually that day before is the best time to interview. And then the next day, those are the two best days. And then Friday, I'm out. It used to be stay till Saturday, right? And then leisurely get a flight home. It's like, nope, Friday night, I'm out. Now with all the tattooing, depending on where I am in the country, I'm usually leaving and going to get tattooed so I don't have to make a cross-country flight a second time.
That's different.
Right?
That's like got a purpose to it.
Right. So
Besides,
usually now
like,
I'm
going
flying
to-
out and then I'm going to my event and then I'm finding out if there's an easy way to get to Fort Lauderdale and then I'm going to Fort Lauderdale getting tattooed and then flying home. But take the tattooing out, take the current situation out. I leave on a Tuesday, I'm back on a Friday.
Do you feel like that changed due to getting sick?
Yes and no. I think it changed due to getting sick for sure because I'm like time around my family matters. But I think it's also like I've been around Jason Kalipa and like we talk and like he's very much the same way. And he's like, what does it matter? Like, why not get home tired so your kids can see you cared? And like they can grow up looking back and saying to themselves, damn, my dad like literally went through hell to make sure he was home on a Saturday with us. Like as they get older, they'll understand why you were so tired on Saturday, but you still showed up to the baseball game. You still showed up to the recital. You still showed up to stuff that happens on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because you flew home. A lot of times we're on the East Coast. So I'm flying home. I'm landing at 10, 11 o'clock. I'm getting home midnight, 1 a.m. And then I'm up at 7, 6 o'clock because he had a baseball game or he had another
Honestly,
sport.
you just get up sometimes just to see him get off to school.
Yeah, like sometimes I fly home and I get up in the morning at like 6 a.m. and I might have gotten in the door at 2.
Yeah.
Just specifically to see him out the door. So he sees me in the morning, knows I'm there.
He knows you're coming
Gets
to
to
pick him
have
up
his
that night.
normal routine in the morning.
And it's back to dad
And
pickup.
knows it's back to dad pickup that afternoon. To me, that's the reward.
So what else? How do you balance the rest?
I don't really. Balance is a terrible word. I called it the balance CEO because the harmonized CEO just sucks. It just does not have a good ring to it. But in reality, it's like, how do you harmonize it? Because it's not balance. It's about the triangle, right? It's about all three sides connecting. In different seasons of my life, it's going to be about two of the sides are going to have more effort than the other. In this current season of my life, I'm wrapping up a very heavy fitness and business portion of my life. I was working out like crazy. I was working like crazy, building the media company, doing all the podcasting. You guys really took a backseat to a certain degree. And I can never thank you enough for the support and the way you've just stepped up. And Landon just understanding too. Like he really does get it. I know that's weird to say with about a 6-year-old, almost 7-year-old, but he gets it.
But that child has also sat and come to work with us.
Right.
He has seen the grinds, the get up at 5 a.m.s. Why do you have to do that?
Yep.
We've been very, very open and honest with him on.
So family's kind of taken a little bit of a backseat over the last season of my life. Once this Everest thing is done, it's going to be a big family and business season because I'm still growing this media stuff. I'm still kind of getting all that dialed in. I'm getting the companies where they need to be. But family is going to be a huge part of that, right? We're traveling a ton. We've got multiple vacations. We're celebrating your 48th birthday, whatever it is. I know it's in the 40s. We've got our Thanksgiving trip. We've got a cruise.
No, we've
a
got
Disney cruise.
I think we're starting to transition to getting everything together and then exploring.
Yeah. But like, I already can tell like this next season is going to be work and family. And fitness is just going to have to squeeze in where it fits in. But it doesn't mean it's any less important. It just means I'm not going to be spending 3 or 4 hours a day on it. I might be spending an hour, 45 minutes, and just managing my diet. And that's okay. It's still harmonized. Still all 3 sides are connected, meaning that if life fucking falls down on me again like it did a couple years ago, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to handle the stress.
And I don't know how many people you've told that story to, but the doctors did have such a hard time diagnosing you because you were so fit. Even though you're still big, you still like aren't weighing or looking exactly how you want.
Or how the world would want me to appear.
Agreed. But your strength had them really having a hard time diagnosing you.
The strength part was crazy because they were like, no, GBS, you shouldn't be this strong. Like, you shouldn't be able to resist. Like all these things. Yeah. I'm like, my strength is gone. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like my strength is gone
to you.
Yeah.
But freakish to them.
Right. My arms were doing this. Like I had no control over anything. Couldn't walk. But, you know, I look back on that and I'm like, the triangle was there. So like I was able to handle that stress.
Yeah, that was a rough time.
So like my point is like, it always has to connect. It always has to harmonize and connect so that if anything else happens ever again, I can handle the stress. No matter if it's my stress, somebody else, your stress, Landon's stress, the company stress. It doesn't matter what the stress is. If things are collapsing around me, the triangle is strong enough to hold it up.
And I will have to say that when it comes to like figuring out your relationships and coupling and all that stuff, there really has to be a good trade-off because it's not going to be balanced all the time. There has been many times where you've had to pick up my slack with Landon, my slack at home, because my focus has had to turn into somebody dying, work just absolutely taking all of my time in situations that I had never been in previously, work or family-wise. And just like I have picked up slack when you're building stuff. Like you have to learn the push and pull of it's not always going to look 50-50. It's just not.
Yeah, it's harmony, right? You're still in a harmonized state. Like when the baritones aren't picking up stuff someone else is, the tenors are picking up, right? And it still sounds good.
And I think that's probably been one of the biggest successes of our relationship is we've definitely been able to pick up when somebody's pulling down.
Like to the outside world, it probably doesn't look any different other than the fact that someone different's picking him up or bringing him to a birthday party or doing this or that. Like it looks totally normal. You wouldn't think there was anything stressful going on, but in reality, it's like you're pulling your fucking hair out because your whole schedule got flipped on its head because you're being the unsung hero for your partner to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
You're quietly just carrying the load. And I think that's so crucial that people understand. This shit never stops. This cycle of like being the go-to person and then being the person that gets to go out and do what they need to do to grow. It never fucking changes.
Yeah.
I think this is a good place to kind of wrap it for today.
Sure.
But I want to challenge you guys. If you like this, if you like our conversation, if you want us to talk more about relationships and how we do our thing and how we keep from ripping each other's heads off and still being great parents, make sure you like, comment, share, tell us that because maybe, just maybe, I can convince her to do a podcast with me separate from this one where you get to see us more regularly. And you'll definitely see a lot more of the clown side of us talking that shit. Because it definitely won't be as serious as the Balanced CEO.
He's been trying for a long time.
Not very successfully, as you can tell. But this is the big steps where I need you guys. Like, comment, share. Do all those things on all the platforms. Tell her how awesome she is and that you want to see more of her. And I appreciate that. I won't have to say it anymore. Because it's honestly tiring. the ego over here.
I mean, you're welcome for the
It's
talent
just-
coming in today.
It's just a constant, like, just hot air having to blow that way to keep her afloat. And then
Please.
before we leave this room, I'm going to have to pop that head of hers so she can get through the door.
Let's be honest. I'll be the one shanking you.
Yeah, no, we're going to have to get some of that hot air out of your head so you can, get through the door and go home.
Okay.
The talent.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. I built this so you could even be in the spotlight. The talent. All right, that's where we're wrapping up today. Again, don't forget, like, comment, share. Tell her you love it if you loved it, so that we can finally reach my diabolical plan of having her and I as co-host on a separate podcast for Digging Media. And as always, keep digging in.